try to adjust for wind. The first.
There is no wind.
I know, the first one.
They come from all over the globe, America, England, Australia, just to give up some of their time helping out, regardless of the weather. A big storm the night before does not deter the rhino team, and it's business as usual.
Yeah. Viewer? Awesome.
A quick trip down the rhino enclosures to serve breakfast after it rains is very refreshing. And well, a little bumpy. 32-year-old Barrett from Oakland, California, accompanied by 2 fellow volunteers, get a little wet in the name of conservation and feed some hungry rhinos, finding something rather surprising.
I don't think they've ever gotten along this well, and she's never not been interested in her bottle like that. Hey, did you guys bond last night in the storm? Over here. They didn't fight. It was amazing. I mean, look at the sneer on her face. Usually they are much more aggressive. You can hear the sound coming up now. But there was a crazy storm last night, and so they obviously all stayed in the night pen. And they just were really sweet to each other right now while feeding, which is not common for them. So Olive actually left her bottle and went over and was like on Forrest's face, not in a mean way. So yeah, baby steps. They moved together a week ago, and maybe now they're finally falling in love.
Some may say they have too much time on their hands, but nothing could be more untrue. The fact of the matter is, if they had too much of anything, it would be heart. Even for the less appealing creatures they come across. With feeding all the injured nocturnal birds after their rhino stop, cleaning out their cages and giving them fresh water every day, there don't seem to be enough hours in any given day to get it all done. Yet they still manage to get through it all, and some paperwork from what they observed that morning. And pimping out a baby baboon with a mustache. It's a rather busy day.
Yeah, look at his face. He needs like a little mustache now. Not a mustache. Yeah, he needs one now.
The sanctuary has many animals in their care that need seeing to every day, and the volunteers have a lot of ground to cover. So no matter what the weather or your size, it's all hands on deck. Maintenance on the enclosures needs doing, and some one-on-one time with the rhinos, which they all are happy to receive. And every day you learn something new.
You know the animals, I know that will conserve them.
I tried. So, why would there be like a foamy? There's no worms that eat them, right? There's no worms that eat rhino horn? Okay. Because he's got this like...
I don't think it's foamy. I think it's milky.
Milky?
I think it's milky, hello.
Okay.
Kom
Yvonne, this little thing. Look.
It's snot.
It's not? Really?
What it's all about is just caring for these guys. It's not about us, it's not about how we feel, it's about how they feel, if they fit, if they're nice and warm. And if you see the trains in these guys, it makes all the difference to me. Yeah.
Who is it? Storm gets these big clumps in his ear, and we were like, what is that? And Helen just reached in and swabbed it, and she's like, it's thick like wax. And I was like, what does it smell like? Like, I'm not gonna smell it. I was like, you gotta smell it. And it smells like fruit salad. No way. Like those things.
The experiences these volunteers have while deep in the green hills is absolutely priceless, and no doubt has changed their lives. From feeding time to some quiet time, observing, forming bonds and relationships, to teaching these animals what should come naturally to them. With no parents, how are these baby rhinos supposed to know what mud spas are? Mud helps to keep them cool in the harsh African sun. Well, it's all hands dirty and a little up close and personal for some of these volunteers. And another surprise from the rhinos.
Well, so far they were fine. I wasn't here for when they first went in, but from what I heard, Forrest is still being a grumpy kid. And then the other two, everything seems to be going fine. They're all getting along well. You can see them, they're all intermingling. Olive's getting on incredibly well, especially with people. She hasn't been in with people very often. But for the others, she's doing well. You got to remember that they are traumatized animals from what they've actually gone through so far. So of course she's going to be nervous of any kind of new people coming in, or even new rhinos. But so far they're doing actually very well.
Feeding time again, and the new babies want to show us how different they really are.
Drinking, swallow, doesn't go in very much. Look at her, she's drinking differently. So if you work with the rhinos, you must find out. I think some mom's teeth are short, and some mom's teeth are longer, and some mom's teeth are nicer. But this little one doesn't drink deep. She's drinking deep. Sometimes you run out of hands, but luckily I have mouth. What I also do is sometimes I suckle the tiny.
The volunteers range from young to old, male and female, all sharing a love for animals, getting up at 5 a.m. or taking the 2 a.m. feeding shift. It's no hardship for them.
This is a schedule for the cub prep and feeds.
It's just changed to 4 feeds a day, but they now coincide with all our rhino feeds.
Yeah, so 6, 10, 15, 20. But Kay mentioned that it's not as labor intensive now. You just put a bowl down and they eat it. So, but we can't very well have 2 people from a 4-person team go down and do the prep while we're trying to prep for the rhinos. So we just have to mention it to somebody and try to swap.
The days are hot, long, and hard work, but they wouldn't have it any other way. They wake up ready for the day ahead and get to work. They can't wait to get out there and see all the animals. A lot of teamwork is involved, and relationships are brought together by lion cubs feeding. Even the most unlikely friendships come to light and make you realize that there are no boundaries between loving friends, no matter what their size or species. It's not all fun and games and good times. The vulnerable side of nature is brought to light as Sam and the other volunteers try to save this little bird. You begin to realize that each time a volunteer is here, they leave a little piece of themselves behind. Sometimes throughout their experience here, these volunteers have to come to grips with the fact that no matter how much you want to, no matter how hard you try, you cannot save every animal in your care.
Next time on Care for Wild.